Morning, everyone. So, since it's already 8 o'clock, no, we will just start without them. We will continue with our discussion on methodology this morning, and then next week will be the murag ko ano siya kanang write-up session ra noon sa pagplaster sa inyong methodology. So, although you are required to write in kuan siya kanang smaller parts no of an entire chapter. Yeah, usually capsulized naman siya, so there are some parts nga wala man siya na-include na to, no, like I did not ask, I think, for the significance of the study. It was not there in one of our write-up nga activities. Pero i-apply naman siya tudlo, no. So for the methodology sa concept paper, appeal na siya actually ang tanan, pero gi-compress lang nato siya in a smaller nga kanang mag-paragraphs. And then kato kung gipanguli nga mga corrections na naiwan nga enhance, ang but pa sa bato is you just have to elaborate it further, but no need nga kanang ang uban sobra pud kay kataas nga mapuno na pud ang duha ka page no nya. Kuan ako ang gipangita data gathering procedure, for example, or for example it's just the scope no nya sobra po kayo kataas no, so ato lang siyang i-capsulize. Anyway, once gani nga mahuman ta by next week na sa to ang discussion sa pagplaster sa yung methodology, you'll be having another write-up activity on methodology. I'll give you like an extra week for that, no, kay nanapod may mga defense karon sa undergrad. So, tagaan ta mga pila ka weeks to finish it, and then once nga it will be returned to you, and then also na mga suggestions and comments nako, that's the time that you will have to compile it into one document. So katong mga naka-chop-chop na to nga mga chapters no nga gi-anam-anam rin ninyo og sulat og submit. So i-apply to ninyo ang mga suggestions, corrections, and then i-compile siya into one paper, so that when you submit the hard copy na kompleto na from chapter 1 to 2 of the concept paper. Then I'll also be meeting you no right after nga mahuman mo sa yung methodology. I'll be meeting you on how to arrange your research matrix. Kaya usually in the defense, no, it's the research matrix that we submit together with the manuscript. Sa uban gani research matrix ang ilang gina-present, no, but that is for MAED. Pero I do not know with MAGC, wala pa kay ko kalingkod jud author out no ko man ko sa title hearing. Pero it's better nga to have both the matrix and then the manuscript, no, the concept paper nga manuscript. Okay, but anyway, before ta mag-start, mag-pray sa ta. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Prayer to Saint Rita. O glorious Saint Rita, thou did share in the marvelous manner the sorrowful passion of our Lord Jesus Christ. Grant me the grace to suffer in patience the miseries of this life, and be my refuge in all my necessities. Amen. Saint Rita, pray for us. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So once again, good morning, everyone. So, supposedly, after dali naman kayo ang session nun kay we'll be talking about the research instrument, and then how it differs to the research questionnaire, and then as well as how we do like validity and test of reliability. Muna siya to ang topic karon, and then supposedly if napatay extra hour mo discuss pud ta og mga ginagmay lang nga mga formatting no, for the methodology, but I will just save it for next week kay naa may defense karon sa undergrad no. So dalikat ako og klase niya after anak mo panel na pod ko sa undergrad kay manog finals na actually. So sa karon it's still midterm season. Until next week pa man ang midterm exam. We don't have any midterm exam, just submit na lang ato kung ginapa-require ninyo nga missing outputs, no? And then for your midterm, it's actually your methodology naman akong pasulaton. And then ang final sa isang whole paper na jud kato na yung mga corrections and all. Let me just share my screen. Okay. Sorry, I'll also join in another device ha kay dili ko kakita if nawala na ba ko or unsa. Okay, so last time we already discussed the earlier parts of the methodology, like the research design and the different types of sampling, and then how do we get our respondents, and also the different kinds of quantitative and qualitative research. So we will now move forward now to the research instrument. Okay, so already done with this one. You can read these handouts na naman po ni siya naka-upload sa Google Classroom together with the recording. Okay, so we will now proceed with how to formulate and design the research questionnaire. So a research questionnaire is a tool used to collect data from respondents. So answers can be provided through methods such as multiple choice, rating scale, or open-ended responses. So what makes a good questionnaire? A well-designed questionnaire highly structured to allow the same type of information to be collected from a large number of respondents in the same way and for data to be analyzed quantitatively. So a research questionnaire is a tool that used to collect data from respondents, and then it's very important. That's why when we look at our SOP, our questionnaire should answer, the questions, related to the research objectives in your SOP. So, dapat aligned dyan na siya, There should be an alignment with your statement of the problem questions, yung objectives niya sa imuhang questionnaire. Makatubag na ang imuhang questionnaire, through data gathering, okay? In order to answer the questions related to the research objectives. So, we will start first with the types of questionnaire questions, This is for quanti. Lahat na po to sa instrument kung we go to quali, So, there are close-ended questions, open-ended questions, Likert scale, and demographic questions. So, close-ended questions are questions that can only be answered by selecting from a limited number of options. So, since giving a close-ended siya, gitagaan na siya o given options daan, For example, how satisfied are you with hotel services, Are you very satisfied, neutral, dissatisfied, very dissatisfied? Okay? So, you're only given with those options only, Although it's easy to quantify, pero ang ma-analyze quantitatively, pero ang nakakuan lang pud ana is it's the rigid, Like for example, some of the responses does not embody also or represent the true nga feelings or perspectives sa imong respondents. So, mo lang po na usahay ang mga disadvantages po with close-ended questions, But when on the researcher's perspective, dali lang mo siya ma-analyze quantitatively because you'll only be determining the number of responses from the choices given for each of the questions. Then we also have open-ended questions, So, these are questions that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no and instead require the respondent to elaborate on their points. Okay, so example ang respondents mo answer with their own words like, what improvements would you suggest for our guidance services? So, since open-ended siya, ang respondent would actually be able to express, based on their own perception, based on their own like suggestions nila, ideas nila on how to improve the guidance center nga services. Okay? So, dili siya simple yes or no lang or pag-answer sa mga predetermined na mga options. Okay, next is ang Likert scale question. So, it is a rating scale used to measure opinions, attitudes, or behaviors. Okay, for example, nabi certain question nila, like taken from my own questionnaire, like for example, digital technology improves hotel service quality. Okay, so nanay mga options like strongly agree, neutral, disagree, strongly disagree. But oftentimes, we are discouraged from placing neutral because kanang it's difficult to determine if naara siya sa kanang murag middle ground, So dapat nara jud ana sa strongly agree or strongly disagree, agree. Okay, sometimes there are like panels that will discourage us from having like a 5 Likert scale, mas prefer nila nga kanang 4 lang, you remove like neutral as an option. Okay, next is demographic question. So, refers to inquiries about the extent of differences in demographic behavior among diverse groups based on factors such as race, ethnicity, religion, and their impact on overall population measure. Okay, so mga personal characteristics, no? And this is quite common if we are going to have a comparative study. Like, aside from collecting, data, sorry, so kayong iring, no? Aside from collecting data on, like, for example, no, level of administrative support sa teacher retention and job satisfaction. I kept going back there, no? Pero, meron ako mahunahan. So, um, for example, if dili lang ka mag-measure no on the level of admin support kina provide sa mga school administrators, and how it affects teacher retention and job satisfaction sa mga maestra. You also would want to know if there is a difference of their responses according to age, according to the length of service nila sa academe, no? Silang education attainment, silang position. You would also want to know those differences and for you to compare them. Like, mas positive ang responses sa majority sa mga male respondents compared to female. Or, for example, it comes to adaptability sa adaptability sa technology, or technology integration sa pagtudlo. Mas positive, mas dali maka-adapt ang female compared to male, or vice versa, mas dali maka-adapt ang male respondents compared to female, or the younger respondents compared to the older respondents. Then we set a bracket for that, kung magkuantag demographic according to age. Okay? So, yung na siya, you could also do like comparative correlational pod, nga dili lang kaingon nga mo determine lang ka sa correlation or association between the independent variable to the dependent variable, but you also want to compare them according to the demographics. Okay. So, usually, taas pa siya nga table na we compare them according to age, maybe according to gender, maybe according to length of service, maybe according to position. Okay. Next is, how do we formulate and design the research question? So, of course, first, you need to identify your research aims and the goal of your questionnaire. So, what kind of information would you want to gather with your questionnaire, and what is your main objective? So, you go back to your SOP. Especially lang kaya magpa-validate ka, mas dali siya ma-validate, mas dali siya makuan if na alignment sa imong SOP with your questionnaire. So, for example, you would want to determine, let's say, para sa ako, I will just make mine as an example. So, for example, I want to determine the level of digital transformation sa hospitality industry in terms of innovation, in terms of customer centricity. It comes to like service quality, for example. Those are my aspects under that one variable. So, under digital transformation, na ako'y taglimali mga question per aspect. Yan na siya, wait lang. Sige lang, I will save that for another time unta kanang magpakita ko yung sample. I think it's easier for me to visualize if I have the kuan man good, the manuscript. Okay. Like for example, sa iyaha, wait lang. So it's the RRL manga that goes first. Okay. Like for example, siya level of effectiveness admin support, and then she has like 3 variables, and then professional contentment sa mga teachers, determine po niya ang level according to this 3 aspects, o niya kanipod sa ikatulo nga teacher retention. So duha ra man ang aspects nga iyang i-measure. Kay very broad man kay when we talk about professional contentment, when we talk about teacher retention, when we talk about admin support. So it's very broad, So iyang gisat niyang kanilang mga following aspects per variable ang iyang i-measure. So when she made her questionnaire, ira pong gi-follow pod ang pagpasunod sa iyahang variables and aspects in her statement of the problem. Because again, when we go back to what makes a good questionnaire is that it's able to answer the questions that are found in your research objectives. So So, sa iyahang questionnaire, wait lang kay. Sa mga respondents ni Nia. Alam mo, nag-content validity ko ano. Okay, so in her end, no, so she segregated according to her variables and she has questions according to her aspects, no, mga different aspects niya under each variable. Okay, so tag lima-lima and then naapo na siya kanang ko ano, naka Likert scale lang. Although 5 point Likert scale lang ni iya ha. May gi-suggest sa panel. Same goes with professional contentment, no? So naapod tulo niya ka aspects, no, under her variable na contentment. So naapod siya yung mga 5 questions per that variable. Let me just zoom in for you to see. Okay. So some of you, di ba, I have seen na may mga in terms of, no, na may mga different indicators, no, na may mga different aspects rather. So yan na po na pag-placer when you make the questionnaire. Okay, always align it to your SOP. Dali ra na siya ma-validate if it is aligned, no. And then avoid to double barrel questions, no. The main reason is that if you ask two things in one statement, it could confuse your respondents, no. Okay, like for example, if I say, what would be one example? The establishment, or let's say, the school administrators provides opportunities to the teachers through workshops and kanang coaching, no, or kanang murag kuan siya kanang individualized ng coaching, for example, no. Sorry. Wait lang. I would just admit your classmate kay naa pa sa waiting room. Okay, so for example, yan na. Now, kung ikaw sa teacher, for example, in your school, like, yes, we provide si school administrator og kanang professional support sa amo professional development opportunities rather sa amo through seminars or workshops, no. Pero I cannot say if that's the same thing pod with like personal coaching or ng kay wala man siya gayng sa amo so ma-confuse ko kung unsa ko ang i-answer, like strongly agree ba ko or strongly disagree because the statement is asking two things. So that's one thing that you should also avoid, no, mga double barrel questions. When you ask like in a statement, you should only ask for one area. Okay, like para to sa una sa akong masteral, no, I should have known better at that time nga lagi ko pangita like kanang souvenir shops, pasalubong centers, and those two things cannot go together, no. Maybe for example in San Carlos City there are pasalubong centers but wala siya yung mga souvenir shops, no, nya mo define man sila like kung sinakalaan na nilang duha na naabi for example wala yung mga merchandise store na sa San Carlos for example pero naa siya yung mga pasalubong centers nga makapalit kag mga delicacies so ma-avoid ka ma-avoid kag mga double barrel questions because it could probably confuse your respondents, no. You only need to ask for one, no, in a statement. Anyway, gilang maabot tataan na po, no. Just an example lang of what I've mentioned about making sure that the research, no, aims to determine or let's say aligns, no, with your main objectives or objectives nimo sa imong SOP. Okay, next is define your target respondent. So is it a longitudinal design or is it a cross-sectional design, wherein you would study the same group. In a longitudinal design, you would study the same group over time to observe any changes. And then for cross-sectional design, you look at different groups at one point in time to compare them. Okay, after that, once you have determined already your research aims, your goals in the questionnaire, no, and also your target respondents, that's the time that you develop questions. Okay, So smart questions are the cornerstone of every questionnaire. To make them work, they have to be phrased in a way that prevents any misunderstandings or ambiguities. Now, later on, naapot tayo mga other examples of a good research question. Ang pinaka-importante na dyan, Anna, we avoid highfalutin words. No, mga highfalutin words gani ka nang over kaayo ka kuan kalagwom no nya wala man taga sulat og kanang feature nga section sa usa ka school newspaper, no? And we're not going to write a novel, no? So make it as simple as possible that it's easier to understand sa imuhang mga respondents. In some cases gani, no, for example, if your respondents are part of like the indigenous community, dili na siya pwede nga ato pa dyan ng Englishon, no? Ato pa dyan ng Bisayaon para mas makasabot sila. Although in the manuscript, no, we will be placing that in English, no? But when we distribute our questionnaires, we also translate it into a language that they can easily understand, no? We can assist them, but we cannot actually coerce them to answer the questionnaire or tell them nga, I think you should answer this and that, no? So, dili ta pwede, ana. Okay? And aside from that, no, dili pud ta pwede when we develop questions, no, again, aside from dili ta pwede mag double barrel questions kay it could confuse our respondents if we ask two things in one statement, dili pud ta pwede nga very biased ang atoang question, no? Like for example, kanang what do you think of this amazing experience, or what do you think of this amazing or kanang mutag ka mga negative words in your statement. So dili jud, no, dapat it should remain neutral. Okay? Then choose your question type. So there is a wide variety on how to phrase your question. Then number 5 is design question sequence and overall layout. Okay, so after optimizing each question separately, it is time to improve the overall flow and layout of the questionnaire. So, naay uban no nga kanang medyo gilamo-lamo ra jud ang pagplaster sa ilaha nga questionnaire. So, kung mo-plaster ganit tag questionnaire, hanay. Okay? From for example, sa yaha kay naman siya more comparative sa yaha before, no, so nag-identify niya yahang mga participants according to their school. So you have like the title, for example, then part 1 should would always be the respondent's profile. You just okay. And then afterwards ana ang first na niya nga variable, which is admin support, no, yaman ang independent variable niya, no, nya naman siya mga different aspects sa ubos tulo ka buok. Okay. So, syempre, na ay instructions, tarong nga instructions, yan, naapod tayo, legend pod, no, sa to ang mga indicators, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unsa na ang iyahang, kuan na niya, no, but pasabot, mas mayo ganin ni, butangan pa dyan niya ni, o kanang SA, A, N, D, SD, kay para mas dali ma-identify what this represents, although we already know what it represents, but ato ang respondents, so we should always consider our respondents. Okay, kumpara nato, kasabot naman ta, kabalo naman ta what this means, but we also make a questionnaire nga makasabot dali ang ato ang respondents. Okay? Then you provide, again, no, mo siya segregate according to your aspects, and then you also have the following questions below. The next na pod ni mga variable would be part 3, and then ang iyaha pod nga mga aspects. Okay? Tag lima-lima lang ka questions iya. Do not make your questionnaire too long, no? Nakapavalidate ko atong mga 100 plus guro ka bukihang questions niya. Sa usa ka aspect pa lang daan, mudaga nag 15 ka buok, no? Nya abi pa sa i-consider kay kung kapuyo na gyud atong respondent mo answer, magpataka na lang na sila pang-answer. Ang uban na kay strongly agree na lang nako ninya, walay basa-basa. Kay para mahuman na og kuano answer. Pero unsay ko ana na downside ana, dili accurate ang data nga inyong mag-gather. Kay tungod dinalian na lang, no, gitamad naman sila mo basa pod. So you need to also consider when we let them answer the questionnaire, not only nga dali siya masabtan o sa lang ka statement, but dili pod siya nga nakadaghan pod, especially per aspect, no, labi nag-ato na siyang i-transfer na pod sa Google Form, no, kung mag-online survey ta, so samot pa dyan sila kapuyan, magpataka na lang na sila og click, di ba? Nya, based from experience, lisod jud kaayo na sila paansiron, labi nag Google Form, no, mas ang uban mag-prefer gani og kanang printed jud kay para mahulat ra nila, no, tagaan nila snacks, patapo ko nila tagaan lag snacks ba rin or token, so kay para ma-encourage to answer. Okay? Then choose your question type. There's a wide variety in how to phrase the question, design question sequence, and then run a pilot. So this stage is crucial for evaluation and optimization purposes. So we go first with the validation, no. In CSR, no, ang process here is we go through a test of validity first, no. So mapa-validate pa jud ta. Nya mangita taog ka ng expert jud no sa kana nga field, no. Whether nga nanay MAGC, a guidance counselor, no, in the graduate school prefer man nga naa siya MAGC kay nga degree. Okay, not only nga aware po siya sa research process, no, but align siya sa inyong nga program. So once ma-validate na niya, no, duha man na, either you do content validity or you do good and skates, no. Sa mga nga time kay gadali, no, gipangkutas mi ato last time. Gipa good and skates ra na mo sila kay para madali ra og validate, no. But di man siya po na malikayan nga naa siya po yung mga suggestions ang validators, no. Kuan naman na mo, amora man ang i-adopt po ang ilahang mga suggestions. Okay? So, before ka mo run og pilot. I-validate usa, no? So, once it is validated, and then our result is kanang high validity, no? Valid naman siya nga pwede nimo siya i-pilot testing, then you do a pilot test. Okay, sa pilot test, or test of reliability, we look for the consistency of the responses. Okay? So, mangita ka og at least 30 respondents not coming from your original pool of respondents. So, take for example, if my respondents are in San Carlos City, Negros Occidental, I would look for a school that is outside of San Carlos City. Whether I would go to Calatrava, I would go to Gihulngan, no? Nga same ra pud siya like in nature, no? Like for example, ako study is kanang ang mga respondents nako are employees of DOT accredited hospitality and tourism establishments. Okay. So, since naamon ko sa Negros Occidental magkuanog study, pwede sa Negros Oriental. Wala man kay kuy kaila to sa Negros Oriental, labi na ka nang kuan. Ang dali ra jud ako matapis ang sa Cebu. Okay, although ako lang gi reason ato to is different region siya. So na siya sa region 7. Okay, so katong wala pa NIR ha ang kuan Negros, no. So ano ko nga ay different region na lang, no, sa region 7 na ako'y tulo ka establishments gikwaan og participants, no. So I have 10 participants, no, or respondents from New Star, 10 from J Park, and then ang other 10 is from Waterfront, no. So kanang tulo. There are DOT accredited hospitality establishments, and then in contact ko silang HR ang HR na bahala mo pili kinsa to yung paansiran sa ako ang pilot test. Okay, so after ako na dayon nang gipa-check kay Sir Abelier, so giranan niya through Convax Alpha. Okay, so after mo mag-pilot testing, pwede ra mo agto sa test station, sa yan na bahala. I-coding pa man na, so katong nag-SPSS ko ato, ko Sir Abelier din agto, sorry. Sa kay Doc Teller mo di ay ko ato nagpa-check, no. So, ang sa ko ato nga time is ako lang siyang gi-coding. So, yung ano siya after ko sorry. Medyo ko ang throat karon. Wala diri. Coding na to na ako na test of reliability. Kay idagan na niya through SPSS, no. Collaboration with service quality. So, muna siya, age, question na rin ako, human na mag-validate, no. Tulo ka experts naman to akong ikuha, dayon. Muna siya, kanang, set ra kog code. 5 Likert scale man na siya, so, dali na 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 naman nga mga answers, no, per, kuan ako siya, per, aspects, no, per indicators. And then, diri, naka-number na, like, for example, if male abi ka, 1, female 2, dayon, ang employment status nimo kung regular ka, kay 1, 2, 3 man to siya, na ay regular, na ay part-time, na ay kanang murag probationary, mga ana, no. So, nag-assign po ko nila og codes. And then, sa educational attainment, so na ay bachelor's, master's, og doctorate, and then, ang bachelor's is number 3, for example, number 2 si masteral, number 1 si doctorate, and then, ang position, 1, 2, 3 pod siya, so na ay managerial, na ay rank and file, no, mga nga na to, kung nag-assign ako nila og codes. So, na ako'y code ang nag-i-assign, and then, ang length of service kay, wala raman, no, depende naman na nila kung pila na ilang length of service. Nagihatag na ako ang code pod sa ako ang statistician. So, after nag-i-upload raman, after na siya gi-upload, iyahan na nang gihatag ako ang liability results, then muna na akong gi-encode sa ako ang questionnaire. In your end, since you're still doing a concept paper, no need to like go for test of validity and test of reliability. This is just, I'm just briefing you about the process on how to do it. Okay? So, mag-ani po mo, after mo mag-kuan, pilot testing, unya, high reliability, for example, yan na, sa you know or before, no, and then sa amo po nga school suggest you is mo pasa rami og result sa amo ang reliability og validity test, then magpa-sign mig ethics clearance. After nga our ethics clearance has been signed, kay nahuman naman siya test of validity and test of reliability, usa pa mi mag-survey. Dili mi allowed mo survey if wala mi signed ethics clearance. Okay, kay ang maraman na siya og proof nga, okay na nimong questionnaire, it has been checked, it has been undergone pilot testing. Mao na siya. Okay? So nakasabot ra everyone. Nakakuan na sa process. Okay. We will continue now to the research instrument. So this is more into like the different types of research instrument. Either you apply this to quali or to quantitative. So research instrument is a tool used to collect and measure and analyze data. So natay lain-lain nga types of research instrument, no, naatay survey, naatay interview, naatay observation, and focus group discussion. Okay. So, the interview is a type of qualitative research method that collects data by asking questions. It includes three main types, no? So, naatay structured, unstructured, and semi-structured interview. So, direct conversation na siya with the participants. So, for example, no, you interview managers or you interview students, you interview kanang participants nga whom you have identified nga naka-experience ani, no? So usually few lang dyan na siya compared to the quantitative nga, wherein like what I've mentioned last week, no, mas dako jud si survey o kanang number of respondents, because again, no, 10 or 15% or people rather cannot represent, no, the entire jud nga responses sa tibuok nga population. There should be like a sample size that would accurately represent all of the total population. But when it comes to the interview, uh, you just need to you just need to you just need to select a few number of participants. Okay? So sa participants nimo, okay nang 5 or 10 kabog participants, basta aga na you identify them nga sila jud ang fit or sila jud ang angay nga ipangutana pod nimo. Kay ang ilaha pong mga responses ano man imong gamiton also to do like thematic analysis, no? You try to analyze like common themes sa ilang mga responses, no? So sila man na ang imuhang ibutang pud sa ang imuhang ilang mga responses rather ang imong ibutang sa manuscript. But again, dili pud ta allowed nga i-name na to sila, no? Syempre there should be strict confidentiality. Okay, so ang unstructured, mo yung kitag unstructured, I think you're familiar with this naman, no? Kung mo yung kitag unstructured interview, it is flexible, conversational, okay? So, murag, kuha na siya, kanang, mag-start siya sa kanang murag free-flowing nga kanang informal conversation. Unlike kanang mga structured nga, naa siya yung mga Q&A, na siya nakasat nga list of questions na niya, Q&A session siya. So, kana is murag, mag-start lang siya from like a simple question, and then mo respond abi si participant, and then usually kung saya mga itubag dira pud ka mo kuha na pud og another na pud ni mga question, or mura pud mo gastorya no, mura mo gastoryahan na nga naunsa naman to ang kanang how was your experience on this, no, as a teacher mo ni mauna na siya mga ipanguta na siya itubag abi dira na pud ka mo kagnak sa pud nimo nga ipangutana. Okay, next is survey. So survey research is another primary data collection method that involves asking a group of people for their opinions on a topic. The main benefit of a survey is that it is a cheap way to collect data from a large group. No, most surveys are also anonymous, making people more comfortable in sharing honest opinions. Okay, and then usually these are just questionnaires distributed to many respondents. Next, we have observations. Or observation is, you're just watching behavior in a real setting. Okay, so it's another research instrument for researchers to collect data. It involves an observer watching subject interacting in a controlled or uncontrolled environment. And then, of course, we have focus group discussions. So FGDs, no. So for focus groups are similar to interviews but includes more than one participant. Sa interview is one-on-one lang mo. Sa FGD, no. So daghan, no. It is a qualitative research method which aims to understand customers' opinions on a topic or a participant's opinion on a certain topic. Okay, so nayo sa ka moderator then a group of participants. Yeah, ikaw as the researcher, no, ikaw ang moderator to ensure nga each one of them has a turn, no, in sharing or discussing something based sa imuhang gipangutana pod sa ilaha. Okay, next is ang existing data. So existing or secondary data are data already collected by other researchers, no? So ginagamit siya for secondary research, like when we wrote our op-ed in Ciara, no, and then we submitted to Impact magazine, no, there's already existing data, no, from UNWTO. And that usually it's more about the statistics on the number of women working in the hospitality and tourism industry. Then aside from that, we also took secondary data sa income, no, like the comparison sa income sa male ug female nga mga workers, no, in that said industry. So all we did was just compare, we draw conclusions out of it, and then we also made our own kanang mga discussions, no, like how we compare it to like the Philippine setting here in Negros Occidental. So daghan mi ato actually. So daghan kay mi ato mga like points of view pod nga ipang insert sa amo ang discussions, no, kay there's one perspective coming from Malaysia, one perspective coming from Taiwan, and then duha mi from the Philippines. One of my groupmate was not actually into hospitality and tourism. Kay sa education man siya nga sector. So iya is more into the representation of women, no, in the workforce. So mga yung ana ra. So gikan siya secondary research na. Kay nagkuan na ka, nag-use ka og data that another researcher has collected, no. So in our case, we gather it from UNWTO or other agencies, no, nga makatag na mo ana nga data, no, online. Napoy ubang cases gani nga you can even ask from another researcher. You just email them, no. Kay mamo po na no, usayo na may email nga kanang ma'am pwede na mo magamit imong questionnaire kay standardize na mo ma'am with your permission ana isite ra ka na mo, then ihatalan nako ang full nga questionnaire kay when you publish man good online, no, in a high impact journal na mangoy times nga wherein naka-capsulize lang siya into let's say 12 to 14 pages, no, nya katurang mga highlights sa imong research ang maoy naka-feature, so they want to have access to the full article, to the questionnaire. So mo email ra na sila. Same po na sa existing data, no, when I ask data from like kuan mananghid ra man jud mi nga pwede na mo kwaon kaya amo siyang gamit sa mong op-ed, no, nya among op-ed among i-publish, no, with their permission as long as i-cite na mo sila. Okay, next is the research environment. So, the context in which academic research takes place, influenced by economic, political, and social factors. A research environment is the setting in which scientific or academic inquiry takes place. So, why is a research environment important? It influences the overall data collection and analysis of the study. Wait for a while. Let me just drink a bit of water. Wait lang. Okay, so let us go back. No? So, an example of a research environment class, no, is the digital infrastructure, for example, or the people itself, no, the respondents, and then the resources, no, their policies, their culture. So, po na ako sa nimong nga i-consider no when you conduct your study, because it influences the overall data. Like for example, if I would want to conduct this is one study sa counterism students po no nga kung nang ilaha katong sa indigenous community sa kod nga akong gipataan sa ilaha is um how confident are you in nga mo kuano ni approach na ba mo dito sa ilahang chief, nakigsurvey na ba mo sa tourism office to assist you sa barangay po dito mismo no, barangay captain ba or unsa nga kanang mo conduct mo ani nga research kay importante kay na nga basi nami na kay tag sulat-sulat sa to ang research paper niya pag abot na nga time nga mo dita gathering ta no mag survey ta dito di na tayo allow. So you have to change your research na pod entirely no nga although it's still in indigenous community pero mangita pod mo lain nga lugar na pod usbon na pod yung content sa inyong research just because your respondents are not comfortable nga mo conduct mo og research dito no mo survey mo so appeal pod na siya no before gani mo propose ani you have to consider if the research environment itself like the people there no mo allow ba sila. Okay. So, appeal na pod nga ang inyong accessibility, no? Kay sige na mo agto dito pod for example, no nga kuan kana mag-survey mo, no nya importante mo po na nga pabalon po nimo sila sa intention ninyo why you conducted the research, nya how it can help their community as well. So, appeal na siya sa imong considerations when you think of your research environment. Next is the validity and reliability of instruments. So, this refers your validity rather no refers to how accurately a method measures what it is intended to measure. Okay, so like when you think of it no you don't use a ruler to measure your weight diba so you use the right tools no on how to measure your weight accurately no same po na sa imong validation nga when they look at your questionnaire it is aligned to your SOP and it is able to answer the questions under your research objectives no found in your statement of the problem. Okay, so mo na ang purpose pod sa mga validators or experts in the field no aligned sa imuha pod nga field nga kinahanglan nila na i-check lantawon na nila ang uban gani nga cases mag content validity pa jud na sila nga ila jud nang lantawon ang kada tagsa-tagsa nimo nga kuan questions. So, for example, no, ang expert mo review siya sa kuano kana mga different kinds of mga tagsa-tagsa nimo ka items dira if asa dira ang essential, asa dira ang kinahanglan i-revise, no, tagsa-tagsaon jud na nila. I-ensure nila nga tanan nga mga parts sa imong questionnaire kay kanang relevant siya sa imong study niya. Katong mga irrelevant nga questions dira, tangtangon siya kanang mga redundant questions, mga dawagarel ipang revise, kung gani questions dira nga murag dili man kay siya nga ka essential, di i-exclude siya. So mo po na nakakuan sa content validity. Okay? So mukha naman ta na sa Losch's I don't know if I'm saying this wrong, no? So Losch's method, no? Pronouncing this wrong. So sa reliability, ang consistency of the responses. So again, no, once mag-validate ta, nya human tag-validate, mag-continue ta sa test of reliability. Okay? Unya, if the method is reliable, then it produces consistent results over time and across different researchers. So, so mato kung giingon na mag-pilot testing ka, dili na pwede ha when you do your pilot testing in the same area. Usually it's in a different city, labi na if kanang ang scope nimo is tibok abi siya nga syudad. If per district lang, no naman to kuan nga kanang district 1 ra iya ha. Lantawon po niya mo balin siya ang iyang pilot testing kay sa district 2. Lantawon po niya if kanang same ra ba siya og nature pud sa iyang mga respondents kay basin atong ibutang no kalabanan sa iyahang mga schools gipangko sa district 1 kay elementary niya mo secondary siya sa kuan sa what they call this sa district 2 no dapat parehas pod Japon no muna katong napo isa ka study nga scuba diving man to no so ang iyahang mga respondents are related to scuba divers no or kanang mga trainers pod sa free diving, scuba diving, snorkeling no kay mo tulo ka areas nga iyahang gikuan. So nangita mi og area no wala man sa Silay, nya timing man nga nakoy mga OJT sa Boracay. So dito sa Boracay siya nag kuan. Kay naman ito yung mga anak nga activities dito sa Boracay. So, mo na ang iyahang gikuha as her participants. Okay, so you should at least 30 kung magkuanta. Kung mag-pilot testing. So, wait lang. I forgot to include here, no, ang characteristics of a good questionnaire. Wait lang, let me just check if it is here. Okay, not really. Characteristics of a good questionnaire. We'll just discuss it later. Okay, so to ensure validity and reliability of a study, researchers should have the ability to write clear and comprehensive questionnaires that provides important information from respondents. The reliability ensures consistency in a measurement, while validity ensures that the measurement accurately reflects the intended concept. Both are crucial for producing credible, trustworthy research outcomes. That is why it is so important that, again, no, once you are done with the validation and the reliability, unya kanang nag-produce man siya og good results, no, ang imuhang kuan, maayo man ang imuhang rating sa duha, usa pa ka magpapirma sa imuhang ethics clearance, no. Dili jud na dapat gani unta, ano, ambot lang ano nga naapoy mga uban nga schools nga mga wala nagpa ethics clearance, no, magpa ethics clearance jud na dapat kay kanang how would we know, di ba, like kanang how would we know nga human na sila og kuan validation, human na sila og test reliability. Di na lang kung musaba, no, kung unsa nga school, pero there's one time nga lingkod ko as panel niya, nagduda ko kay kanang ning claim siya nga ni validated ako ng questionnaire, pero ning lanta ko siyang questionnaire siyang appendices na po double barrel questions, di siya pon aligned ang uban yung questions siyang SOP, so na uban nga mga questions ito nga pwede ra i-remove, na uban mga redundant kay nga mga questions, and then there was no sign of the validation result in her chapter 2 methodology. Wala pud sa iyahang appendices. Usually we ask for the validation and reliability result, wala dito, no. Nag-reliability test noon siya, no. Gwapa kay siya kay nag-reliability test siya, wala siya nagpa-validity. Unya, wala may kuan man good, wala kay kanang marag strong nga kuan ba nga kinahanglan magpa-sign og ethics clearance kay syempre sa ethics clearance man good sign na by the panel, by the dean, and also sa same good sa kuan good sa marag sa approval sheet ninyo, ana pod siya per ethics clearance siya kay lantaw na nila balik ang questionnaire nimo, nya pangayo na nila imong validation ug ang imuhang reliability results. Once kani nga they are satisfied with kana siya nga imong gi-representer nga mga requirements, usa nila sign ng ethics clearance, that's the time that you are allowed to conduct kuan na jud, no, kanang survey. Na ka mag-survey or mag-FGD ba ka, no, depende sa type or design sa imong research. So nagduda ko niya final na ra ba to, no, final na ra ba nga defense. So medyo magduda ta na, no, kuyawan ta, so gipa kuan jud, no, papit ma-revamp, papit ma-kuan. So kinahanglan mo mag-resurvey jud siya. Sorry, mag-kuan siya balik, pa-test of validity jud niya balik, no, kay personal na siya mga pangutana dito niya, it can kuan na ba affect also the accuracy sa imong nga study. So mo siya pinaka-importante. Okay, so writing your questionnaire, no? So questionnaires are a set of written questions designed to gather standardized information about the opinions, preferences, experiences, intentions, and behavior of individuals and can be devised for the purpose of a scientific study. What makes a good questionnaire? So again, use clear and simple language like what I've mentioned kanina. Your questions must be easy to understand. When they're straight to the point, it's more likely that your respondent will understand what you're asking of them and be able to respond accurately, giving you the data that you need. Di na kinahanglan nga taas pa kay nga paragraph per question nga liko-liko pa. Go straight to the point. Diretso jud dayon. Again, and no double barrel questions kay maglibog na ana ang imuhang respondent asaan na sa duha iyang ansiran. Okay, kay dili man tanan nga instances nga both of those things are true sa imong establishment. What for example, one thing could be true, the other could be not, no, dili abi siya, wala abi siya ga-exist sa inyong establishment or sa inyong institution. So maglibog na si sa ilahang institution rather. So maglibog na si respondent asa ilang ansiran ana. Okay? Keep your questions and answers concise. The sentences or questions are convoluted or confusing. Respondents might misunderstand the question. Nya usahay na, they would not bother anymore to understand the question. They would just answer it pataka na lang, no? So if your answers are too long, like what I've mentioned, they may also get bored by the questions. And in your list of answers for multiple choice questions, make sure your choice lists are concise as well. Don't be biased to your question. Wrong grammar. Don't be biased to your question. No? You should avoid leading your respondent in any particular direction with your questions. You want their responses to be 100% their thoughts without unduly influence. No? So, natay mga neutral wording. No? Parang ingon ako kanina nga, di ko maingon nga, kanang, how was your amazing experience? Or what do you think of this amazing institution? No? Dili ta pwede mo yung ana. No? Don't use words that make one option sound better or worse. No? Di pa ta pwede ma-negative pod kaayo. Diba? So, kana, how would you rate your experience? So, keep it neutral, no? Be balanced, no? Yeah, even gani sa questionnaire, like kanang wala tay, sorry, not just sa questionnaire, even sa SOP, even sa title, no? Di ta pwede mag negative or positive, just utilize neutral wording. Nya mo ni akong gi-mention about double-barreled questions. Ask one question at a time. Dili nimo iharos tanan sa usa ka question. So, asking multiple questions is confusing and will lead inaccuracies in the answer. When you write your question, you should know exactly what you want to achieve. This will help you to avoid combining two questions in one. Okay. Para sa may kag kanang please answer yes or no to the following question. Do you drive to work and do you carry any passengers? Yung sana ko pag yes, ani, what if I drive to work? Yes, but I do not carry any passengers at all. Because I'm single, I work alone. I live alone rather. Oh. So, sana ko pagkuan, yes niya, and no. Oh, so, dili tayo mag-double barrel, no. May kag, do you drive to work? Then, lahi na po nga question ang, do you carry any passengers? So, that's just one example, ha. Then, account for all possible answer choices. You should give your respondent the ability to answer the questions accurately. Okay, which gender do you most identify with? Or man or woman? Okay, and then plan flow, a question flow, and choose your questions carefully. Organizing your questions in a logical order and making sure each one is clear and helpful for your research. Like what I've said, no, it's also very important to have consistency of the arrangement of your variables as well as your indicators. So, for example, kung unsa nga mga indicators naka-assign o variables naka-assign sa imong SOP, dapat consistent po lang iyang arrangement o pagpasunod sa imong statement of the problem, sa imong definition of terms, sa imong review of related literature, and even sa pagplaster ana sa imong conceptual framework. Tanan, there should be consistency. Okay. Okay. Hindi mo i-rearrange, no? Mausabra ni siya ang ato ang questions ra kung kuan ta, what do you call this? Results and discussions. Kay, for example, no, ato naman ang i-tabulate. Kaning mga questions ani, ilang responses, i-arrange na mo na based on the weighted mean nga kuan, no? Highest and lowest responses. So, from the highest to lowest responses. So, mari-arrange. Kanira ang mari-arrange. Pero ang kaning mga indicators of variables, as is na ang pagpasunod nila, consistent na from the SOP padaan. Kaya naman, no, highlights and lowlights naman good. When we discuss in our interpretation, no, sa to ang results and discussions, only the highlights and lowlights, no. So, ang highest and lowest responses ra. So, para madali po siya ma-identify, we arrange our statement from the highest to lowest nga responses. Sa to ang questions rather, to siyang i-arrange from highest to lowest responses after ta nga mag-survey. Okay. Okay, next is test your surveys. Before a questionnaire goes anywhere near a respondent, it needs to be checked over. Ito naman na na-mention kanina, no? Conduct a pilot test, gather feedback, make revision, retest if necessary. Especially if kanang dili kayo high ang consistency or naapoy mga revisions ato ang validators, mo pa ni pinaka-importante pod. I-revise na to siya before na to na siya i-survey. A good survey question should be clear, concise, and contain simple language. They should be free from bias and not lead the respondent in any direction. Your survey questions need to complement each other, engage your audience, and connect back to the overall objectives of your research. Let's now proceed to the data gathering procedure. Kaya pinakalas na ethical considerations naman na pinakalas, no? So, dili na ka na ko expand. Basically, you're just going to discuss the phase of your research undertaking. Like, so good sa pagpananghid nimo nga mo survey ka, no? Mo after validation and test of reliability, once the questionnaire has been validated, si researcher magtudayon sa for example sa graduate school office or sa dean kay magpakuan siya sa ethics clearance, no? Yung man nga mapermahan na to ang ethics clearance, usa pa niya i-disseminate ang questionnaire. Pag humana na niya nga ma-disseminate ang questionnaire, no, sa mga respondents, una pa din mananghid pa po di illogical pa din mananghid pa ta sa tong mga respondents pa po di ay before to disseminate mananghid ta, no, we provide them with the research informed consent form nga mo conduct na taog data gathering through survey nya once gani nga kanang are allowed, no, by our respondents to conduct study. Okay, musa pa man taog transmittal letter, musugot sila, babasahon na to sila sa magsabot mo kung kanong sa mo mag-survey, no. Survey mo nga date, ma'am. Hatag ka sa research informed consent form which contains all of the information about your research. Og para asa gamiton ang ilahang question, ilahang mga answers rather sa imuhang questionnaire. Okay, after ana, no, i-sign man na nila nga they agree to become a participant, no, nya musign man na sila ana nga kanang they give their consent, no, wala siya. Then pagkahuman naka mag gather sa imuhang survey pag humanong pa-answer sa ilaha imo na dayon i-tabulate, interpret, then using the proper statistical tools. Murag-mura dyan na siya ang discussion sa data gathering, the phase of research undertaking. So, systematic and logical manner, and then i-appeal po na to ang research ethical considerations. Muna, ma-appeal siya na ang pagpananghid through transmittal letters. Dili pa na enough ang transmittal letters. Again, like what I've mentioned, dapat na dyan tayo research informed consent form. Kaya sa obos mo, pirma man na sila nga they give consent nga ilahang mga responses in this questionnaire ilahan nang ihatag sa researcher kay gamiton po na for academic purposes, no, interpret niya, gamit po niya as basis po sa findings sa iyang study. Dayon, if ever gani imuhang mga respondents are underage, lahi na po na siya, no? Aside sa research informed consent form, you should prepare a child assent form. Okay, so na po kay form pod nga para sa parents i-inform sila nga their child will be a participant of your study nya ang bata pod mismo tagaan pod sila og child assent form. Importante kay na siya, no, we always need to maintain research ethical considerations. So pasunod na, no, from pa-validate, reliability, secure ethics clearance, mananghid sa kuanan na siya, mananghid sa respondents, mo allow sila ipabalo nimo sila through the research informed consent form or child assent form, mag-survey ka, disseminate nimo, collect nimo after survey, dayon i-interpret, tabulate, interpret results using statistical tools. Mura dyan na siyang pasunod sa data gathering. Next is ethical considerations in the conduct of data collection. So, researchers, no, you need to follow ethical rules when you collect data. So, prior to the actual procedure of data collection with the most preferred research instrument, the researcher must bear on his or her mind the important considerations in conducting such activity. It's also very important nga kanang, like when you do online surveys, there should be a data privacy notice. Okay, so even put in yung research informed consent form, it is very important nga you respect the privacy, no, then you have to also hold the responses of your participants in full confidentiality. Okay, so here, engagement with the participants must be ensured to be moral and right. So, FOCA and Manta Pro, as cited from Health Science Journal, present the ethical considerations in data collection. The following are as follows. So, muna siya, informed consent. So, provide a consent letter informing the target participants is necessary to be done by the researcher. The said letter or form should primarily state the objective of the study, justifying their need for participation. Their roles, responsibilities, and rights should also be discussed. So there's a difference between the transmittal letter, PUDHA, and also the research informed consent form. Let me just... Okay, this is an example of a research informed consent form, but we will go first with... That is for the participants, Magot. We will go with the transmittal letter. This letter for validation. Kanini una kay tungod kay public schools man gud nagsulat sa sila sa division office, then after ana superintendent commission papirma no sa school heads na siya. So nag-write siya og letter sa school heads, then ang kanang kuan, ang kanang date, okay. Then siyang gipasabot po no ethical considerations nga confidential jud ang all information gathered sa mga teachers nga iyang respondents and gamiton na siya for academic purposes. After kay nang approve na siya, mo survey na siya no. Dili po na enough lang nga, oh nisugot na inyong school head mo ni maun na. Need po siya og validation tool. Ano validation tool? Research informed consent form. Ano validation tool naman ta? Research informed consent form. So, nadir ang mga details ni researcher no, iyahang name, iyahang institution, ang title, siyang study, and then ang introduction. Magkamay lang ako kanang discussion ni Ma'am Genevieve no nga kanang isa kog basa, no then kanang pwede po nimo siya i-discuss with your family, if you're not decided yet, if you're uncomfortable, mo na. Yeah, dili pa pud siya mo pugos og survey kung wala pa na-signan ang sorry kay medyo kuan ang dili na lang ko. Okay, na dili ang purpose of the research, then the study procedure. Yeah, ibutan po nimo pila ka time nila mahuman kay klaro no kula i-zoom in. Among ko recorder niya. Medyo samok ang recorder. Samok rin siya. Wait lang. So, if you want to look at the manuscript, I can just provide you with the full one. Anyway, na-submit naman ni sa Chad. Okay, potential benefits, risk and discomfort. It's so important also to reassure. Although it's small in your phone, no, it's important that kuan lang ninyo, i-pinch lang, i-zoom in lang ninyo by pinching the screen, shared screen ako. Mo zoom in ra na ang inyong kuan screen kay I cannot go further na siguro. Okay, aside from that, no, mga potential benefits, justice, potential risk and discomfort, na po information about the researcher. So, of course, it's so important to always include the Data Privacy Act as well in your research informed consent form, and then also reassure them that they can withdraw their participation. Again, we do not want to coerce our respondents in answering our questionnaire. No, we can I don't know if it's like kanang subtle bribing. No, we can say nga kanang ma'am magkanang hatalamig snacks na ano niya. Ato ba nang ikuan, ato ba na i-take advantage ang utang na loob sa mga Pilipino nga kanang na maulam ko di mo answer sa questionnaire kay gipas na kan ako ni ma'am answer na lang ta ana ano. Pero that's one way nga kanang murag ko although it's like kasatol ko pod nga kanang imo silang pasnako or tagaan mo like ball pen no sa ko ang mga advices silang ma'am gikuan na nila tagaan mga ball pen mga kanang mga tokens mo ma'am thank you kayo pag answer sa questionnaire mo ni mauna pwede mo coerce nga ma'am palihok lang ma'am and sila lang mga strongly agree tanan ma'am nga dinente ka sa mo kuno dili na siya pwede no it's unethical. So, nani mga Data Privacy Act of 2012 to nang i-discuss dira. Then we also discuss nga we reassure them nga agano na dira ang purpose, the potential risks, potential benefits if they answer the survey, how it can help to the study of Ma'am Genevieve and also the community and also them as the respondents. And then also if they are not comfortable, they are free to withdraw their participation in the survey. Then na dira ang contact information sa uh, researcher and then also the advisor. If dili kani mo kang advisor, pwede ra pod ma-visit sa school, no. So, if nasa mga questions or complaint, no, napad na dira pinakalas no right of the research participants. If nasa mga questions or complaint regarding sa data gathering, no, or kanang gikuan sila sa researcher, gi-coerce sila or unsa, pwede ra nila ma-contact ang school through email. Then of course, dira no. I confirm and have read no siya permahan na dayon na sa walay date lang. Permahan dayon na sa respondent. Then of course si researcher nga na-explain na niya, no, na-explain na niya, na-discuss na niya sa respondent para di mo magtagsa-tagsa, pwede na mo sila i-confine sa ka classroom baron or sa car room. Tagani mong snacks, tagani mong token for example, depende na nimo spend mong budget. Dayon, itingob ra nimo naghatag. Then tingob ra po nimo discuss sila nga. Okay, please go over the questionnaire lang. There are 5 questions for each of the aspects under each variable. If namoy mga questions nga dili mo makakuan jud kaayo, you can ask me. Igo ra jud ka mo interpret para nila. Dili nimo sila i-coerce nga kanang sapod di kasabot ni si ma'am kung say pasabot nimo ani ma'am nga kaning mo na igo rin mo i-explain igo rin mo i-translate dili nimo ingon nga kanang kuan ma'am like kung mo answer ka strongly agree ana kay kuan man ang bot pasabot ana ma'am nga kanang were you happy ba with the services or the support provided by your school administrators kung mo answer kang strongly agree ma'am kay kuan mas maayo o dili na pwede ing ana explain imo ra nang i-explain unsa nang gubot pasabot dira sa imong question dili na nimo pwede ka nang chika-chikahan pa nimo nga mas maayo kung mo answer ka ani o dili na pwede. Okay, so muna research informed consent form. Usa ka mo hatag na sa questionnaire. Permahan man na kanang every time that you print out your questionnaire, na research informed consent form sa pinakaatubangan. That's part of our ethical considerations na to when we do our data gathering. So naka-staple na sa tubangan basahon na nila o sa nila ansiran imong questionnaire. Kung for example, okay, mag-online ka, ma'am, mag-online lang ko ma'am kay layo kayo no. Para sa ko no, nag-online man ko no, di na ko mag-beg lagyo jud kaayo Ginoo ko tay buok jud nga mga municipality ug city sa Negros Occidental din ako na makaytuyok tanan so nag-online ko. Ako ra ning gipang insert Japon, naara Japon ni siya. Dili man na ingon nga kanang kuan nga i-dismiss nimo siya. So that is still there no nya. Ansiran Japon na nila. If they cannot attach their electronic signature, pwede ra katong I agree, no? Naray tick box dira ang imong ibutang sa online survey nga you agree to this and that. Okay, so that's the informed consent form, no? Beneficents do not harm. So, the data collection procedure should not bring any harm with the participants. Dili nimo sila kanang kanang mo discuss ka og mga things or even do actions that may cause harm such as physical, emotional, and the like to the participants. So meaning that the researcher should be sensitive enough with the place, time, and even the manner the data will be collected. So, dili mo sila padali-dalion, no? Kanang dili po nimo sila ibutang sa ka place nga where they feel uncomfortable. Okay? So in addition, it is also to note that the researcher should inform the participants of the possible risk and harm prior to the process of data collection. Kung ma'am, like for example, some of these questions uh, are quite kuan po siya no kanang like straight to the point nya mukuan abi siya sa imuha nga part like kanang maka-trigger abi siya like it might trigger some of like your previous nga mga trauma. So if you do not want to push through with it, okay Raya, you're free to do so. But if you want to push through and read the questions there, kay labi na ifo mo mga questions kay mga live experiences for example, or kanang ilang perceptions ani no, or labi na kung magkuan ka even ka na mag-interview ka dili necessarily nga kanang sa close-ended questionnaires ni siya. If for example mag-interview abi ka no, so makita na ka marag disclaimer nila daan nga narabay mga questions diri nga should like kuan no kanang probably could trigger a previous like memory or experience. So if you feel uncomfortable, you're free to uh, leave no, or pwede ra kay ka dili mo participate ma'am. Importante siya na ang welfare pud sa to ang mga respondents. Okay, respect for anonymity and confidentiality, securing the safety of the obtained information, data, and even the identity of the participants should always be considered by the researcher. So again, no, participants' information, even their personal details. That's why it's optional to provide their names as much as possible. Anonymous unta ano di na to pabalaan kinsa na siya, no. That should always be considered by the researcher. Their anonymity, it should be remain private. So here the participant should be informed that all the data they will provide are secured and safe and will only be used for study purposes. And then imo pong ipabalo nga after na gani mahuman na ang study, imo na nang i-dispose properly. No? Paper shredder if it is like a printed questionnaire, or imo na siyang i-delete na dyan na nimo sa imong computer if it is an online siya nga survey. So securing the anonymity of the participants is done not by not collecting personal and identifying information to the participants, thus they are not fully known by others, even the researcher himself or herself. On the contrary, confidentiality is secured by means of obtaining data and personal information to the participants with some sorts of modification. Like for example, walay names sa participants or nakay pseudonyms. Like during an interview, pwede ka mo assign nila og letters like participant A, participant B, if it's like an interview type of data gathering, no. Pwede gani din lang imutangan og kanang name nga tapos mo optional, tangon na lang siya entirely. Respect for privacy. One of the prerogatives of prerogatives of the participants is to have freedom of what information they want to provide to the researcher. Hence, it is important to consider that the researcher should not coerce the participants to provide his desired responses. So dili mo siya pugson or mo ingon nga, "Oh, ikaw, masayot man ko mag-strongly agree." O, dili pa na pwede. Data in addition, the researcher should also be considerate in collecting the data to their participants. Here, the data should be collected in the most convenient and most comfortable place, time for the participants. Finally, the collected data should be secured and kept in a locked location where the other people have no access to it. Ikaw na dapat ang naay access sana. Vulnerable group of people. Some research requires other groups of people who are considered vulnerable as a provider of data, like victims of this kind of koan, or for example, the indigenous community, no. So appeal po na ang children, no, bitang nga natin child assent form, no, mga minor students, aged people with disabilities who cannot protect themselves and are also at risk of being deceived and forced to participate in the study. Therefore, the researcher should ask permission to the parent or guardian of the target participant, like a parent consent form and a child assent form, okay, to allow the participant of the study. So I've already mentioned this one before, no, kurang lang gibasa, but especially sa mga minor na to nga participants or respondents, there should be an assent form or a parent's consent form. Let me check if I still have the child assent form here as a sample. Wala na, nasa ko ang hard drive na usa. External hard drive. Wala na. Okay, so procedure of data collection. After the researcher determined the research instrument he or she would utilize in the study, planning of data collection procedure should be then followed. Here, phases as pre-data gathering, and post-data gathering serve as patterns for the researcher to collect the data needed. When you make the data collection procedure ba, no need to like provide a paragraph for pre-data, data, and post-data. Saan ako to nga manuscript nakit okay, Mark, sa kuan to, sa MAED. So, dili na tayo magbutang yung ani. Bali, like, mo na din siya mga different phases, pero as one paragraph lang siya. You can have like a one paragraph intended for pre-data, pero wala lang yung mga label. Tangtangon lang na to, no? Merg ka nang naka-classify siya according to different paragraphs, no? Like, usa ka paragraph nila is for pre-data, data gathering, and post-data gathering, pero wala siya exactly nga na ay label nga mo identify unsa na siya. Ano, mag naka-usa lang siya kang kuan ba? Continuous lang jud siya. Okay. But anyway, let's proceed. So, pre-data gathering, this phase also termed as preliminary data gathering, wherein the researcher solicits necessary data in order to determine if the study can be pursued. Here, the researcher conducts pre-interview with the possible sources and the target participants of the study. It is to note that before conducting actual data collection, the researcher must ensure that the participants are available and needed data can be obtained. So, muna kong gi-mention kanina, di ba nga, ginahan ka nga ang indigenous community sa kudkod imong kwaon. Unya, you have to ensure nga you go there first, nga available sila, nga allowed mo conduct og research dira. Okay? Nag-talk na mo silang chief, nag-talk na mo sa local community dira, like ilahang kanang barangay captain for example, or kuan mo magpa-assess mo sa city tourism office kay sila man na pud ang contacts pud sa indigenous community. Okay? In one way nga dili pud ta invasive, no? So pakalitan nga throughout the research process mo kalitra og kuan, mo kalitra big ingon nga dili lang mo allowed, no? Kay wala man mo ning istorya nila daan beforehand, no? Before mo nag-start sa imuhang kuan, sa imuhang study. So nakay preliminary data gathering first. Okay? Then next is the data gathering. So this phase pertains to the actual procedure of data collection. Here, the researcher has already known his or her participants. Hence, securing their participation through a consent form has already been made. Nakata a letter as well. Similarly, administering the instrument is done in the most convenient time and most comfortable place for the participants. Then post-data gathering. So this phase is conducted after the data have been already collected and transcribed. Here, the researcher will present the transcribed data to the participants in order to check the accuracy of the collected and transcribed data. In addition, the researcher may also perform some follow-up activities such as informal interview to clarify some unclear information as well as to ensure the rigor of the possible results of the study. Now, this is one step that is like commonly kanang ma-exclude in the entire like data gathering process or sa procedures, no, kay it entails a lot of time, but it is really necessary. Like in other research manggod, maghumana ganin sila og survey, dito na sila og kanang make sila chapter 3, chapter 4, and then mag-tabulate na sila, ilahan nang i-transcribe, no, interpret na nila ang results, then i-discuss na yun na nila based on the tabulated nga results sa survey. Kung man mo defend, na ra. But in some cases, no, it is very important to really maintain accuracy. Although it's like an added pa dyan mo nga work, no, pero mamagod ni siya dapat jud unta nga matabo. After ka nga matabulate na nimo imo ma-interpret, usa pa nimo na siya i-present no sa imong defense ra na. Imo sa nang i-present sa imong mga respondents nga, ay by the way, from our survey mo na ni siya ang results niya, mo na ni siya ang mga interpretations drawn from the results of the survey. These are the following findings, etc. So that they are familiar na, no, with, or kabalo na sila, aware na sila sa unsay results sa survey nilang giansiran. At the same time, to also clarify if naapagani mga unclear information nga wala nila naklaro during the survey. Okay, so added kay siya nga kung ano nga work, but it is necessary. Next is data analysis. So once the researcher has collected the data gathered from the sources or participants, he or she then performs data analysis. The procedure of data analysis plays an important role so that the researcher can come up with the accurate findings of a study. So next is transcribing, coding, and drawing themes from data. So syempre pag humani mo og survey, mo kuan naman ka no mo uh, transcribe no or mo interpret ka no depende sa imuhang what they call this data gathering. If it's qualitative, usually dira naman ka mag-transcribing, mag-drawing themes from data. Kung qualitative no from quanti no sa quanti na mo is si kaya man nimo na i-tabulate ra man dali ra siya ng quanti tabulate ra na nimo nya out from the questions dira imo arrange from highest and lowest responses. Frequency count ra man na siya usay gani di na ta magkuan mag percentage no frequency ra na nimo and then imuha siyang i-weighted mean and imuhang standard deviation na pod. Okay, kung mag-descriptive ta usa pa ka magkuan kung naa kay mga inferential questions usa pa ka mag-hypothesis testing through either do ANOVA, Person R, depende na sa unsay prescribe nga statistical tool no nga gi-provide ni statistician. So aside in Cristobal from the book titled Practical 1, senior high school no sa qualitative mo transcribe mo code jud ta og mo draw og themes. Okay, so hence the researcher should consider procedures that will help examine or attain the purpose of analysis. The said data analysis procedure pertains to the following. So first we have transcribing. The first step of the researcher should do once he or she has obtained data is to transcribe. Then data transcription aims to create an organized text version from the data gathered from the interview. So for example, nag-observe ka, nag-focus group discussion, nag-interview ka sa ilaha, na kay audio recording, imuha na siyang i-transcribe and then imuha siyang i-organize ang text based from the data. Kay informal man kayo na kung imuha ra dyan na siyang i-verbatim, i-arrange na nimo siya. So moreover, data transcription enables the researcher to immerse into data he or she collected. This further helps him or her sort and organize data for easy understanding and analysis. So katimong mga gipang record no kay labi na kung ma-interview ka i-voice record ra man na nimo. So i-convert nimo ang interview into written text through transcribing. Ang coding, this is where you group similar ideas together. So you identify unsa may mga common codes no nga or similar ideas rather nga nag-exist no or among sa tanan nimo nga mga participants during the interview. So the next step of the researcher should perform after transcribing kay mo manggi convert ang interview into written text is coding. So coding aims to categorize the data by creating smaller groups for easy analysis of the transcribed data. The formulated codes can be word or phrases used by the researcher to describe the meaning and context of the data. These can be further created using the prior knowledge of the researcher as a result of the reviewed literature or the observed apparent codes. So, ay mo nabantayan abi no kanang once nag-review ka sa actual data, unsay mga apparent codes nga nag-exist sa tanan nga mga gipang interview nimo. So you can employ either manual or automated coding. For example, no, ang kalabanan sa ninggawa silang mga responses for example is training needs or employee resistance. So imo nang igrupo, okay, kani siya i-categorize ako ang data based on the responses nga nagkuan on employee resistance, nag-refer to employee resistance or nag-refer to training needs. Next, dira na dayon ka mag-draw og themes no, where you identify patterns in your data. Okay, so this is the final step no, of data analysis. So it deals with drawing of theories based on transcribed and coded data. Here, the researcher may utilize different qualitative analysis such as commonly used content and thematic analysis. So, for example, no, ang themes abi nga imuhang na-draw from, ang codes dito is employee resistance or training needs. Nya, ang themes no or patterns sa data nga you have categorized them during your coding is kalabanan nga ning gawas nga common themes kay employees needs training or there's employee resistance because they are not what they call this empowered to work no they are not compensated properly for example. Theories themes they are theories themes. So ensuring trustworthiness of data. After the researcher takes a data analysis procedure, he or she then will ensure that the result of the said procedure provides trustworthy data and results. Unlike quantitative research that employs validity and reliability, qualitative research establishes the rigor of data by considering Lincoln and Guba's trustworthiness criteria. This includes the following, no? Credibility, transferability, dependability, or confirmability. So we start with credibility, where our results are believable. It pertains to the confidence and the truth, value of the data, and their corresponding interpretations. One way to ensure credibility of data is by conducting peer debriefing with other researchers and experts who can substantiate the study. Likewise, member checking with the sources or participants of data is done to confirm accuracy of data. Next is transferability. It means the findings or the results can apply to other situations. Okay, findings revealed from the data can be applied in other settings and groups. To establish transferability, the researcher should present a thick description of scope and delimitation, method and technique, and participants and setting of the study that will justify how she or he answered at the findings presented in the study. Next is dependability. When we dependability, results are consistent. Okay, findings are consistent. The researcher can ensure dependability by adopting relevant theories, literature, and studies which should be cited in the accurate study, such as an action can prove that the findings of the researcher are consistent with the claims of existing theories with other available research literature and studies. And lastly is confirmability. So it implies that the data and findings of the study should be neutral. Okay? And pinaka-importante sa tanan, it should be supported by evidence. It should be objective, it should be neutral, it should not be biased. So this can be established by the researcher through securing documents and records such as raw data and field notes that will justify the findings of the study. So, ibutang ra ni siya ang data evidence in the appendices of the research manuscript to be confirmed by the panelist. Kay even gani sa quanti masking atong ibutang rigid naman siya and close-ended questions and all. It's very important that we still provide the content and the validation and the reliability results in the appendices for confirmation that it is accurate. The questionnaire has gone through expert review, same po sa quali, tanan, dili man, like, kung sa kuan lang, sa questionnaire or sa validation result, like, usa lang, saray mong ibutang dira, dili jud tanan jud nga 5. But what I meant about tanan is that, kompleto siya ba, kompleto siya for confirmation purposes, nga, it is accurate, it is backed up by evidence, di lang siya exactly like claims lang made by you. Especially sa qualitative, importante pod kaayo na siya. And that's it, nahuman na ta actually, sayo-sayo raman 1 hour and a half ra, kay nahuman na to ang principles and theories sa content sa research methodology. Basta mo na inyuhang hunaon ha, basta research methodology gani, dila na siya nga part nga discuss na ang kanang how the research will be conducted step by step, that includes the design, the data collection, the respondents itself, appeal na ang analysis, and also your ethical considerations. So even though it's a concept paper, unlike the previous chapter nga wherein naay parts dira nga dili man appeal sa concept paper na gi-remove ra siya niya, unya ra siya sa proposal mabutang, such as like the significance and all. Even gani the RRL is not included in the concept paper, pero gipapil na kog pasulat sa inyo kay para naalan jud may kanang practice. Sa methodology, include na tanan. Kay importante manggug kaayo na ang all of the parts under the methodology, kay dira man gud nato mabalaan how the research process would go through. Okay? From analysis, from respondents, from the design, from the type of questionnaire, from the data analysis, and even the ethical considerations. Okay, so that's it, That's it for this morning lang. And then next week, I need to prepare pa man gud, I have manuscripts to check right after this. Kay naa pa may defense later sa undergrad. So, you will just leave it at this time lang ha. Kay supposedly napatay remaining 1 hour and a half for the methodology po na to nga content, ang katod yung pagsulat paghanay. But I will just save that for next week na lang. Okay, do you have any questions?